Alright, so rituals not working. I'm guessing that's what it says above my head. I don't know yet because I haven't uploaded this. I don't know. Thought I'd make a spiritual channel. Whatever. I've been doing this shit for years. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm some like just expert, you know. I'm not gonna give you some biased information. I don't know. This is a common problem that people have. Basically, like a lot of people. This is a really easy problem to solve. If your rituals aren't working, you know, don't freak out. It doesn't mean that you suck at doing what you do. It just means you don't know what to look out for yet. You don't know how to make something happen, you know, with your rituals. It's not a big deal. This happens to everyone. Everyone gets started. They read up, you know, they read up on everything. They do their research, you know, and they try to do their first ritual and see if they can pull it off. And it almost never works. But you keep trying it. Eventually, it will work. You gotta remember what you're trying to do. It's pretty complicated. You're trying to basically take something and willpower it into fucking happening. Not the easiest thing in the world. You gotta remember, you know, you're trying to fuck with reality, man. Like, you know, that's what you're doing. Whether you're powering said ritual yourself, whether you're, you know, seeking outside help from some kind of deity or demonic force or whatever the fuck you're working with. You got all kinds of people working with all kinds of different stuff. I work with whatever I want. I do the chaos magic thing. If you're not into chaos magic, that's fine. I don't care. I wouldn't even consider what I do completely chaos because it's just completely different stuff. I've worked with Hinduism a little bit. I've worked with voodoo. I've worked with all kinds of stuff. I sat there and just did psychic exercises and tried to really get myself into doing that. Turns out that I was able to do it, but it was very inconsistent and very interesting. It was one of the most interesting things I've ever worked with. And I took a 5-year break after that because shit got fucking strange. But anyways, you know, just the thing is, here's how it works. When you're getting started, you're going to have trouble pulling your rituals off. You really have to give them some oomph, you know. You got to really, a lot of willpower involved. Also, you know, your mind is still, especially when you get started, you possibly, some people have, some people haven't. You may have never seen anything paranormal happen. If you know it can happen, it's a lot easier to pull it off. If you've seen weird shit happen, like, there are people who don't practice spiritually at all. They're not Wiccans, pagans, they're not into just any kind of abstract spiritual type deal. But there are people who know that stuff like that exists, and there are people who have had experiences with ghosts or psychic stuff. There's people who aren't spiritual at all, and they're just psychic as balls. And that's really annoying. It's kind of like when you exercise, and it's the equivalent of like a guy who has really good genetics for building muscle, and he didn't work out at all, and he's just like fucking ripped, just looks fucking just yoked, and he didn't work out. And you work out all the time, you're stronger than this guy, you have like better endurance than this guy, and you just look fat. It's kind of like that. I knew this girl who was like amazingly psychic, and she didn't want to have anything to do with it all. She's like, oh, I just see a bunch of fucking ghosts again, that's great. So it's kind of like that, but I'm going off on a tangent here. Here's the advice. Here's some good advice. Keep trying to do your rituals. Read stuff. Read about stuff that's actually happened. And I'm not saying just believe everything you read. I'm just, if it makes sense, and, you know, form your, you know, things there. The more you keep practicing, the more you are going to get things to happen. And when you do a ritual, keep an eye out and see what happens. When you do a ritual, you can get immediate effects, but you usually don't get immediate effects, especially when you're starting out. It takes a while for something to happen, and if you're trying to get something big to happen, then it's going to take a while for it to actually happen. And sometimes when you try to pull off something really big, it may not happen. You know, if you're going against too many things, then obviously, like, it's not going to work. Just try to do small stuff first. Try to stay positive. Try to do positive things. If you're working with all that negative stuff, go for it. Do what you want. I don't care. It's not going to get you anywhere. You'll learn some stuff, but there's easier ways to learn stuff than by fucking with things you really shouldn't be fucking with. But do what you want to do. It's just advice. But keep doing small stuff and just keep building up. Once you do get results, even if they're small results, you're going to be able to do it again, and just keep moving up from there. Keep reading, keep studying, study different things. No matter, you say you're just straight Wiccan, you're just like, I'm a fucking Wiccan, that's it. Read other stuff, read about other spiritual practices, and incorporate that into whatever your religion is. There's all kinds of stuff that can be learned from all kinds of other religions, spiritual practices, spiritual people, psychic people, legitimate psychic people, not people who are just full of shit. And just keep an open mind. I believe in you. You can do it. Make your rituals work. Willpower. Remember, you're fucking with reality, so there's going to be some willpower involved. I think the most important part of a ritual is putting everything you have into it. And then once you're done, and it's done, and you're like, okay, this is going to fucking work, I believe it's going to work, then it'll work. And then after that, you have to forget it, you have to drop it, let it go. Don't be like, oh my god, is it going to work, is it going to work? Just be like, okay, I did this, something's going to happen. And just totally move on to something else. And you'll start getting little, signs here and there that whatever you did is going to work. So that's kind of... You see where I'm going with this? If anybody else needs any more advice on this, just ask me. I don't think that if you're doing straight ceremonial stuff, that ceremony is really important, but it's only going to work as much as what you put into it. Whether you're doing ceremony or whether you're just totally just... if you're just like some crazy hobo with a salt shaker and a Sharpie marker and a pack of Post-it stamps, if you put enough into it, it's going to work no matter what it is, whether it's ceremonial or not. That's just my take on it. Do what you want to do. If anybody has any questions, any noobs out there, if anybody just wants to sit here and bullshit with me, that's fine. Go for it. It'll be awesome. I will make more videos on this subject because I know a lot of people have trouble when they're getting started, so... Hope this helps.